Men of Reddit, what are the struggles of dating a very rich girl? Ever been offered $20,000 to break up with someone? Well, my girlfriend's dad gave me $20K to break up with her, because he hated that he couldn't keep his bloodline pure due to the fact I'm Mexican. He was always racist to me, and never failed to put me in uncomfortable scenarios just to get laughs out of his rich, white friends. He made it a point to only serve tacos when I was around because that's all border crossers eat. At his house, I'm now known as Taco Muncher and none of the staff or his friends are allowed to call me by my real name. On top of that, he made everyone believe I was only using my girlfriend to get my green card, despite the fact I was born in the US. But the worst of all was when he said I was a poor illegal stealing his daughter. I believed he wanted to irritate me as much as possible to get me to break up with his daughter on my own. But that wasn't happening anytime soon. I tolerated it because my girl was worth the trouble. That was until I found out she was hiding something from me. One day, I overheard her father arguing with her mother about how he refuses to allow his daughter to marry a dirty immigrant, and that I was better off being deported because I was going to steal her inheritance. I'm not even illegal. I was born in the US. That's when I knew I had to tell my girlfriend about how I felt about his treatment towards me. She apologized for her father's behavior, saying he refused to educate himself because he believes he's superior and doesn't need to learn about the illegals as he put it. She also explained the details of her inheritance. She had a massive trust fund that she could only touch when she got married. I could afford to provide for her, with or without the inheritance, so I tried to forget all about it. I wish I could say we lived happily after that, but I can't because a few months later, her father asked me to visit him at his office. When I got there, the man looked like he had planned my death to a T, and I really thought I wasn't going to leave that office alive or safe with the way he was glaring daggers at me. He had never arranged for me to meet him privately before, so I knew this couldn't be anything good. And I was right because the first words out of his mouth were, "I don't want you dating my little girl because you're a dirty immigrant." This didn't surprise me at all. Before I could say anything, he continued, "I don't care what you think, you are nowhere near close to the standard that I'm looking for in a son-in-law. I'm sure you're just looking for a quick green card and some easy money, but I also understand that you're not just going to back off if I tell you to. So how about this? I'm going to give you $20,000 to break up with my daughter and never talk to her ever again." To anyone else, the offer may have been tempting and they would be a fool for not accepting. But I was no fool, and I hated that my girlfriend's dad had such little respect for me. I didn't even care about their money. I was with my girlfriend simply because I loved her and wanted to spend my life with her. However, I also knew it would be impossible to marry her without her father's blessing, which is why I took the money. I immediately called my girlfriend and told her that I took her father's bribe, but she had to trust me because this didn't mean I was going to break up with her. There was no way I was going to let her father get away with this. I told her that I will explain everything one day. She just had to wait for me for now because I really loved her. She was suspicious of me and almost panicked, thinking that I was going to forget all about her now that I had her father's money. But thankfully, after a bit of reassurance, she agreed to my proposal. From there on, I got to work. I downloaded an investing app to help me turn these $20,000 into more money. For months, I grinded the free lessons and earned in-game coins to buy stocks by competing in tournaments with other people about our investing knowledge. I even invited 5 of my friends to earn an extra $1,111 so that I could use it to buy more stocks and build up my money. To make things simpler for myself, I started auto-investing like top investors such as Nancy Pelosi and Warren Buffett, and I used all their stock charts to know what stocks were going to do well in the coming months. When my investments reached 5 zeros, I knew the time had come. I cashed everything out, went to visit my girlfriend's father, and demanded a meeting with him. He let me in, probably thinking the money he gave me ran out and I was here to ask for more. But the look on his face when I gave him a check for $60,000 was priceless. I told him in clear words that I loved my girl and no amount of money would be enough to keep me away from her, and he could take that check as a bribe for me to stay away from his daughter's love life. I also told him I was going to be just as rich as him, since my business was about to take off. I could tell he was surprised that an illegal immigrant could even make that much. I didn't wait for a response and just left because I desperately wanted to see my girl again. I called her and explained the situation, hoping that she'd understand. To my absolute shock, she said that her father had done this before and her first boyfriend had just taken the money. She was afraid that I would do the same, so it made her really happy to know the lengths I went to secure our future. Oh, by the way, after hearing that he did it again, she has decided to cut her father off from her life. Anyway, I'll let you know when we have a date for the wedding. Edit. For everyone asking, the app is called Bloom. Learn to invest.